Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Reject Films. I'm Dan, and back with reviews for you guys from Wild Eye Releasing. And yeah, it's been a long time since I've done some of these. So I got this package like a month ago from them. I actually watched one of them like 3 weeks ago, so I'm a little bit rusty on that one. But yeah, two documentaries here from them. One I really enjoyed, and one that was just okay. Really expected a lot more from it, but let's dive into them here. We have Danger God, and we have Fury of the Demon. So let's do Danger God first. This one, it's been about, like I said, about 3 weeks since I've watched it. But this is about stuntman Gary Kent, who was did stunts for Bubba Hotep and a bunch of other movies I can't remember right off the top of my head, but a lot of I guess From Dusk Till Dawn, he worked on that. I think he worked on I can't remember right off the top of my head, but even had a run-in with the Manson family at a time. Just tons and tons of movies he worked on. Also an actor back in the day. But yeah, this guy's story is truly amazing. I mean, not just his professional work, but outside in his personal life. And he battled cancer himself, like a form of cancer, and lost his wife to it and everything else. And it kind of touches on that. About halfway through the movie, it gets more personal. And I'll say, even I got a little emotional here and there, but I didn't know anything about this guy going into this film, but you got to learn a lot about not just him, but a lot about the stunt industry itself, the camaraderie and everything like that. You know, the friendships that are had and everything. Just, it really delves into a lot of that. You know, how close these guys are to each other, and there's like their own little family. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one a lot. So yeah, I know this one was available at like Walmart and stuff like that. It probably still is. So I definitely recommend picking this one up if you guys are fans of documentaries. Like I said, most of the releases are $10 or less. So definitely grab this one if it sounds like something interesting to you. It does talk about some of his injuries and things like that as well. And yeah, I don't know. It's just I didn't really get into it at first. It kind of started off a little sluggish, but I say once it started going more into his personal stuff, it really started grabbing me more. There's interviews with some of his family members and things like that. I believe one was God, I've watched so much stuff since then. One was his kid or his grandson or something like that. Talks about, he does talk about his book. He shows some footage from like his book signings and things like that. But yeah, really, really well done, really well put together, and it's not something that's talked about a lot, like stunt people, which is kind of weird because I just watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood last night, and of course it deals with the stunt man for Matt Damon's character. But yeah, so these guys, they don't get a lot of love and respect, and they do a lot of hard work, and they put their bodies through hell, and not just their bodies, but they work probably more than the actors, and doing stunts on different things like nonstop, and they're kind of the unsung heroes of film, Without them, a lot of these actors, are too big of pussies or whatever, to do their own stunts, and some are just, way too dangerous that a lot of people wouldn't do. Sometimes I can't blame the actor for not doing it because, it's like life-threatening or whatever, but yeah, car crashes, being set on fire, all that kind of stuff. It even says on here, I just saw key inspiration behind Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So that explains why I... Right. Anyway, so that was kind of a movie based on him, really. Brad Pitt's character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood being the stuntman. Um, so yeah, again, definitely check this one out, guys. If you guys are into documentaries, even if you're not, I think you would find it interesting. So, Danger God, highly recommend this one for sure. So, I apologize. It's been so long since I watched it that everything's not so fresh in my mind. I was actually going to rewatch it, but I just didn't have the time, and I need to get these done. Sorry. All right, this one I was actually really, really excited for. If I can quit coughing. Fury of the Demon, and I threw it on one night because it was only an hour long, but it really seemed a lot longer than an hour. I actually didn't even finish it that night. I kind of fell asleep, finished it the next night. Started out pretty good. It's about an old French film that nobody... I don't know if it's a myth or if it's true or what. It's for you to decide, I guess. If this film even exists, this film called Fury of the Demon, who most people think was directed by this famous French filmmaker. I can't pronounce his name, so I just say that is George. I'll just say like George Miles or something. George, I don't know how you say his name, but I'm terrible with even regular names, let alone try to pronounce a French name. I don't know. But it's basically just talks about events that happened during screenings of this film. One as recent as I believe like 2012, a private collector was able to get a hold of the film and had a private screening with celebrities and things like that. And people just like went mad and like started fighting and all this stuff, and nobody really knows why. And it goes back to old news articles where this film was actually screened before that George guy's I can't remember what it was screened before, but it was like a famous, well-known movie. And come to find out, it wasn't even scheduled to play or anything like that. And afterwards, there's no reel. Like even in the 2012 screening they had, nobody could find the reel, and they don't know where the movie has gone, if it exists. Is it all in these people's heads, or were they being like hypnotized while they were there? I just kind of threw that one out. Actually, that wasn't suggested in this documentary, but yeah, like back in the day, like I think like 6 people were even killed and all this stuff during a screening of it. There's interviews with this guy's granddaughter. This George guy, I'll just call him George because I guess he is famous for what's it called? Old black and white movie with the moon, and the moon has a mouth and talks, and like To the Moon or something like that. But it's real heavy dialogue, just a lot of talking and a lot of subtitles, which I don't mind from time to time, but trying to keep up with some of these was just not possible. I don't read as fast as these things were coming on the screen at times. But like I say, it was pretty interesting at first. And then they just got kind of repetitive, just kind of saying the same things over and over. Just talking about, we don't know where the film went, people go crazy. And you just kept kind of hearing the same thing over and over. So, like I say, I don't know if this film ever existed. There's no like hard evidence that it did, besides like those news articles and people. I think there was a guy that saw it when it came out that was still alive or something. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I can't imagine seeing a film that just like makes you go mad, makes you go crazy, and fight with each other, and even kill other people because of this movie. All I know is, from what they said in here, it was just like a guy in like a devil costume, like a, I guess it was in black and white and color. Maybe I don't know. But it was like a green devil costume thing with like the tail, and I don't know. It's just strange. Um, but and then after the movie was over, like everybody was fine. Like after they left the theater, they were normal, and they have no recollection of exactly what happened or anything. Um, I don't know. This movie was just, or this documentary was just weird. But if that sounds like something interesting to you guys, definitely check it out. Like I said, it's only an hour long, but it felt like 2 hours. I don't know. It's just, I mean, I know it's a documentary, so there's going to be a lot of dialogue, but this just seemed really heavy. It was just like these people were nonstop talking just over and over and over the same thing. It was kind of cool seeing some of these older films that this other guy directed and everything. And at one point, it even talks about this guy's apprentice who would make films in, his style. And they suspect that maybe he made this Fury of the Demon movie. But nobody knows for sure. There's no, director's name in the opening titles or anything like that. There's nothing. I mean, why would you not put your name on a movie that you made? It's kind of weird. But again, if this sounds interesting to you guys, definitely check it out. I would definitely probably stream this one first or rent it or whatever, as opposed to owning it. I don't think it's something that I'll watch again. I just didn't find it that fascinating. But, I mean, I'm glad I did see it, and I do know the story of it now and everything like that. It's not one I've ever heard anybody talk about, this mythical movie that exists or doesn't. I've never really heard anybody in all the groups that I'm in on, Facebook and everything and across the YouTube community. I've never heard anybody talk about Fury of the Demon, so I don't know. I looked it up on Wikipedia after, and there wasn't a whole lot on there either, so yeah. Danger God, Fury of the Demon. Thought I had that held up to where I could show both, but anyway, yeah. If these sound interesting to you guys, definitely check them out. Pick them up at Walmart. Check Family Video, Wild Eye's website, whatever. I know a lot of the stuff is probably on Prime and things like that as well. So, yeah. But thank you again, Wild Eye, for sending these out, and I look forward to checking out the rest of the actual movies. I kind of was on a documentary kick at the time, so Danger God was 100 minutes. It was a little bit longer, but definitely worth the watch. All right, well, hopefully I'm back before a month to review some more from Wild Eye there, and I got a couple to review for Warner Archive and some other things in, so I will try to get those done. Probably won't do anything before the holidays, except for this one. So, Merry Christmas, whatever it is you celebrate. Happy holidays to all of you, and thank you all so much for the love and support you've shown me over the years that I've been on here. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the Black Friday hauls from Epic and Vinegar Syndrome and all that stuff, and the Dollar Tree pickups, but it's time to kind of settle down on buying stuff for a while, pick up stuff here and there, but it's time to really buckle down and start really watching some of this stuff, reviewing some stuff on my own that's not necessarily sent out for review, watching them when I'm really wanting to, and that's why it took me so long to do these as well, because I just haven't been feeling movies. I've been playing a lot of Xbox lately, been on Call of Duty and everything like that, and just been working a lot, so watching movies has been taking a back seat. Still been enjoying collecting, obviously, with all the pickups, but like I say, it's time to buckle down and really watch some of these. I'd like to review some Vinegar Syndrome titles and maybe some Scream Factories or whatever, and it's nice not having to get them done, I guess, doing them at your own leisure, which is kind of what I'm doing with these now. You know, I used to rush and get them done, and I usually do them like the next day, maybe 2 days after. I never wait like 3 weeks to do one after I watch it, but I've just been exhausted with work and everything else going on. It just, yeah. So again, thank you all so much for checking out the videos, subscribing, all that stuff. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're still watching this video, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace, love, happiness to everybody. Bye.